Hopefully we finish this thing up in this video. I think I probably will. This one's going to be mostly painting and just final assembly and whatnot. Before I put the base color down, I'm going to spray some darker browns in some places. Just a couple different various colors. I'm going to do that with my airbrush, but it could be easily done with just your brush and some acrylic paints. There you go. I just added some brown in various places. Now I'm going to sprinkle some salt on here, like in the corners and a little bit on the top, especially on the hood, and a little bit on the fenders. Alright, there you go. Just spray it down with water, put salt where you want, and then brush off wherever you don't want it. Just, I got these little acid brushes from the dollar store. There you go. Now, ready for paint. And this is just going to be a like an old work van that is slowly turning into an off-road expedition van. This is like the cheapest paint I found at Walmart. Gloss white. That's going to be the majority of this color. Everybody's like, put free candy on it. Like, who in the hell wants to be a child molester? That's a weird thing to want to be, to want your toy truck to resemble. That's weird, man. Who wants that? Fucking, that's weird. This is not gonna be that. This is gonna be an old work van turned into an expedition vehicle, or en route to becoming that. I forgot to film a step. Right after that last step, it was all gloss white and the salt was on it and everything. Then I wet sanded it to get all the salt off, and this is where it's sitting at now. I got to come up with a like work logo, or yeah, like it's gonna be a handyman truck, like a handyman services or general contractor. It'll be a logo on this side. Probably gonna do some multicolored doors and fenders here, and go from there. Once that's all done, then I'll finish the weathering process. Looking good though. Alright. I don't know where I left off at in the last clip, but this is done with white, and I cut up some stencils. I saw this on a trucker hat in New Orleans in the early 2000s, or at least this part, Norfolk and Way. It's crazy what young ladies were willing to do for trucker hats during Mardi Gras in the early 2000s. Pretty wild times. I lived there for just a little over 4 years in the early 2000s, like 2001 to 2005-ish, something like that. Way back when. Pretty wild times back then. And then on this side, I had to do a little bit more body work. Like that, this was not the best file to start out with. Like the print came out good, except for right up here. I sanded it down, glued it some more. This side I had to solder some more. Like I just kind of welded it together. But yeah, I'm gonna paint these two doors a different color, and then this door and this fender a different color. Kind of like if somebody found an old work van and got it running and slowly turned it into a 4x4 expedition rig. quote unquote. Alright, let me tape it off and paint the next few colors. All these clips are days, weeks, or months in between. It's mid-August right now, and I started this in like April. So I've been working, just kind of chipping away at it. Alright, let me get started on that. All taped up. Alright, let's get it. I forgot to film the step before this, the after paint, but I did this side blue, and then I'm going to do these stripes baby blue. And then this whole side brown, and I'm going to do this like a light brown. I hope I'm at the right spot in this video. This is the paint job after the tape and everything. Now it's two-tone on this side, and I don't think it'll stay that glossy. And on this side, I really like this side. This side came out real good, I think. Alright, that's the paint, final paint before weathering. I painted the grill, and now I had to print all these little pieces, and the headlights and taillights and side markers, all that stuff. It's not as clear as I would have liked. Maybe I'm doing something wrong. This is the first time I've ever printed clear PETG before. Hopefully you can hear me over my fans. It's like 105 degrees out. It is too hot to even spray paint. It's messing up my paint. These, I have an Ender 3 S1 Pro. That's what I've printed everything on so far, and it does decent, pretty good for a budget printer. It doesn't do fine detail that great, and it doesn't do anything fast. These are all printed, and then I just went over all the layer lines and everything with what do you call it, TAMIYA putty, TAMIYA putty, and then sanded it down, painted it with body filler. You can still kind of see it right there. I think paint is going to cover that up. I don't think any of these are going to stay on the truck very long, or the van. I think first rollover, those mirrors are gone. The door handles might survive. I think the window wipers will be alright. Everything, those mirrors, I don't think are going to last at all. They just get glued on. So first time it rolls over, gone. I think what I will end up doing is ordering mirrors for a 79 Bronco, the Traxxas 79 Bronco. Right there, same era. They're plastic and rubber, or both, I don't know, but they have survived quite a bit. So that's probably what I will end up doing when those break. Yeah, that's where we're at. Once I get those painted, those will be silver, those will be black, and that'll be white, because that's the hinges for the rear doors. This is the silver, just craft paint silver. Yeah, once I get all that stuff on, and then I think TAMIYA makes lens paint for those. Once I get all those on, I will start weathering this thing. Lights are in, door handles are on, mirror frames are on. The lights, I would have liked for that to be a little bit more clear, but that's okay. I'm gonna put some, what do you call it? AK interactive rust streaks. Hinges, door handle. Painted the window frames black, the front one's silver, just like reference vehicles. It's kind of cool and kind of not. Every time I need to take a look at an 80s Ford shitbox, I can just glance right out there. Alright, now I'm gonna do, well, not now, I'm gonna take a break for a while. The weathering, airbrush, do a little bit of airbrush and some weathering with the rust streaks and streaking grime. And then windows, I gotta go by Hobbytown tomorrow and pick up some Lexan. Just cut out some windows. I hope that goes well. That's been kind of my fear the whole time, is to do this cool body and then make it look real dumb with half-assed windows. Alright. And that's it really. I'm waiting on some GRC brass knuckles for the portals and a diff cover. I ordered some new springs off a Defender. I hope that's enough. These are not at all enough. These are off a Sport. And I need to rebuild those. So, yeah. Alright. This thing is done. I got the GRC high clearance brass knuckles, or knockoff GRCs, whatever. 35 bucks, not bad though. That's a lot more clearance than a stock TRX4. A lot more. Plus brass up front. This thing's gonna be heavy. Redid the shocks with the Defender springs. Got everything wired up. Got the fusion in. I don't know if I talked about that last time, but I got a fusion for it. Got a new radio for it. This one's good because it has the toggle switches for the lockers. I couldn't find this piece here. I don't know where it's at. So until then, I just have my receiver kind of glued down right there. 7 channels. That was on sale for like 50 bucks. So that's a good deal. Usually they're like 80 to 90. What else on the chassis? That servo, probably not going to stay there very long, but it'll do its job for now. These wheels, a little flashy, but that's alright. That's the only ones I had on hand. I went with the Landmines. I'd like to get maybe some crawlers or something. The swampers I had on there were just a hair too big, and I didn't have right foams for them. So maybe someday, I don't know. I'd like to get some swampers, but I had these 419 Landmines. And the wheels are a little flashy, but maybe this guy just got a good deal on 27% APR financing from Texas Tire or Rent-A-Rim or something. Package deal. Tax return special. Alright. This one is done. Went a little hard on the weathering. I kind of made a huge mistake when I did my Toyota. It was a kind of a glossy paint job, so I took the AK Interactive let's see, streaking grime, and I wiped it everywhere, and then I wiped it off, and that worked great because it came right off because it was a glossy paint job. This one, since I sanded it some, did not come right off. All this stuff, not the rust, I wanted all the rust streaks. That was with AK Interactive rust streaks and the TAMIYA weathering kit. Actually, not even TAMIYA. This kit right here is like $5 at Hobby Lobby. It does the same thing. So all the rust streaks I wanted, but all this grime I did not want. Like all this here, that there. I just wanted it white and then to have all these streaks, right? But it didn't wipe off because I had sanded that down and it just stuck. It took, trust me, it's hard to get off. I had to almost sand it again to get it off. So, lesson learned. Don't do that whole smear over the whole thing unless it's a gloss paint job. A little rustier than I wanted, but that's okay. It came out great. If I were to give a tip to anybody printing a body, print an ABS if you have the capability. I have no idea the longevity of PETG or a body like this in regular use. This will probably be a shelf queen. But if I were to do it again in PETG, because I don't have ABS capabilities, I would do brown PETG. That way, when it gets scratched, it looks like rust, you know, like it. This one, when it gets scratched enough, the black is going to show through, which is not terrible, but it'd be way better if it was brown. The windows, I was kind of nervous about, but they came out okay. Not the greatest, and I think that has a lot to do with the way the surface is behind, like where they're glued to. I just used hot glue for them. I used .030, I think, 3mm. 3mm 010. There you go. That's what I used. There's 3 sheets of this too, so in case you mess up. That was from Hobbytown. Then I just used TAMIYA smoke for polycarbonate, and it worked okay. Not bad though. I didn't want to go this dark on the front window, because it looks kind of foggy. That's alright. When I get an interior, I'll redo this window and put a clear window in. These ones turned out okay. Not the best, but not terrible. A little hot glue sticking through right there. I'm going to take this out. We'll get some running video for this at the end of this video. Just some, not a whole lot. And I'll take a bunch of pictures. These mirrors are not long for this world. I already broke this side just driving it in my garage. It's glued on. These are just a dot of super glue right there to glue them on. They are not going to last long at all. So we'll see what I come up with for that. Other than that, tell me what you think. I think it turned out pretty good. Like, you can't tell that it's 3D printed. I don't see any layer lines. Maybe a little bit right here, but real vehicles have seams, especially long ones. You know, they got seam, body seams. But I don't see any layer lines at all in the paint, the weathering, any of it. Turned out pretty good. Alright, tell me what you think, and thanks for watching. Don't turn this off, there's a little bit of run video after this. Alright everybody, thanks.